How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity Evolved here in Minecraft. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. If you guys have, you guys don't do smash that like button. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. It really does help with the channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns for me, let me know down below. And with that, let's get into today's episode. So, at the end of the last episode, we went ahead and added ourselves a automatic blood farm to our blood thing, or blood altar. And so just a quick recap of what we did here is we're using a mob spawner from Draconic Evolution. We're using little piggies, and all those little piggies are going to go into the center where they then get automatically slaughtered by our blood magic. I believe it's the rune of not rune of sacrifice, but well of suffering. That's what the all these blocks form in terms of a ritual. Is it's a well of sacrifice. And then I have an open hopper to collect those pork chops so that they don't go to waste, and then a tesseract to send them over to the ME system. And then down here we are automatically picking everything up, and if we take a look at this, we're at 150,000 in our little orb, and then here the thing fills up. So the way it works is, so it takes some life essence, or life points, for the operation up there to happen. However, we get more than we put in, so we technically are breaking some thermodynamics, but it's magic, so I guess that doesn't matter. Anyway, so that's going to fill up, and so now we have automatic blood, and we should be able to work on getting a tier 6 blood altar soon. In the meantime, I do want to work on trying to figure out a better way of getting draconium, because as it stands, the amount we have, sure, we have 1,000 right here, but we're going to need a lot more draconium for what we have to make, because at the end of the day, we need to make a flux capacitor, we need to make energy cells, and we need to make a mana pool, and those all are going to require a lot of what we need. So we need to get into RF tools for two reasons. Number one is we need to make a draconium okay, maybe we're gonna have to keep, we need to make a dimlet for the ore, so that way we can just have an entire world of nothing but the ore, and I'll set up a quarry and we'll be all hunky-dory. Now the other thing we need to take a look at is we need to make sure that we have access to more dragons, because we can continue to do the respawning in the end, but that becomes quite tedious. But I think we can also make a dragon dimension. Let's see, dragon, yes, we can make a dragon dimlet as well, both of which are rarity 6s. I want to get the draconium one first, so in order to do that, we need to play around with this. So this is going to look a little bit different from the last time we were here. Let me just throw another stack of those in there. And so just a quick rundown of what I did is, so I plugged our researcher into the ME system using an export bus and an import bus. And so then it takes the unknown dimlets in, and then it will scan them and put them into the system. The only caveat with that is it fills up our drives pretty quickly. Now, I have been trying to take them out, but as you can see, they are filling up. I made a bunch more. I made 6 more machines full of these 64 ME storage cells to fit in with all of these ones. And then I left one drive open just in case I want to do liquid or anything else. I mean, I guess technically we could remove the wall of to-do, as it's pretty irrelevant now, but I could add more drives if need be as well, because I tried putting them in a filing cabinet and they just didn't go. And then, so we have an inscriber. This is what we use to make the actual, like, program, I guess, to spawn the dimension, but we're not there yet. So right now what I'm doing is I'm taking apart dimlets as such, so we can take apart a dimlet here and it'll extract it into its different components. What we're missing right now is we're missing a tier 6 module, which we don't have. So there's two ways we can get it. Number one is we could just get really, really lucky with the researcher, and it will basically find it. Why? Oh, it's a craftable one. Is that why it doesn't take it apart? Probably. And so we could get really, really lucky and find a tier 6 dimlet, or we could try basically what is effectively a slot machine. And what we're doing right now is infusing it, so that way it has better odds. and we basically run a lot of our dimlets through. So a lot of these crappy dimlets, we can run them through that. But another thing we can do is if we take rarity 5, which we don't have a whole lot right now. We have some. Liquid death. Molten lead isn't bad, I guess. Superheated steam, I guess, wouldn't be bad. But we can take these tier 5s, and if we roll 3 of them together, there's a better chance of getting a rarity 6, which is what we need. Because then we can deconstruct it to get the tier 6 module we need to then be able to make the draconium dimlet we need. So what we're doing here is we're taking dimensional shards, we're infusing them into this, and then it's slowly getting fully infused. And then for the rest of it, we just have a basic dimlet part. I think all the dimlets have those. Basically the rarity tier, energy modules. So this just allows us to do things. Then as you can see, the advanced are for higher rarities. So you do need pretty advanced ones. We have advanced for all, and then because we're doing a material, we need a material type controller, and then we have a material absorber, and that's just what allows us to determine what this dimlet's going to do. And there's also a mob one, a biome one, and I think a type one. Let's see, there's 4 of them. There's biome, material, liquid, and time. I believe to do mobs, you have to get a syringe and extract it that way. All right, so now that we have a fully infused inscriber as such, let's go ahead and grab those rarity 5. Let's check. Do we have any 6? No. Okay. So let's grab. Okay, we have enough for 2 rolls, so hopefully we get it. Now you're not guaranteed a higher tier, although you are at better odds. So we got a rarity 2 there. So that didn't really go well for us. So let's try it again. Maybe. Rarity 0. So as you can see, you could pretty much wash out, right? So again, just like kind of a slot machine here. It is going to take a little bit of time, but we do have quite a few dimlets we can still go through if we look at how many we have. Dimlet. Dimlet. Let's see. We have quite a few that we can roll. Now, not all of these are of pretty good quality. As you can see, we have a bunch of tier 0. However, we still have 1,400 unknown dimlets, right? So there's a chance that we could find a tier 6 in those 1,400. And it's going down quite quickly as we are researching them, because I think we're researching them faster than we can spawn them, which is good. Well, I don't know. It's good on one hand, but in the long term, it's not. So we'll, I guess, see if we want to increase the spawning of those. Another thing we can do is try to just go through and roll all of these until we get basically the dimlet we want. But that's going to take a bit of time. I'm going to see if I can automate this at all and get back to you. So I'll be right back. And we're back. So we finally were able to get a tier 6. I ran through so many dimlets to get it. I'm pretty sure I have sat here now for like 3 hours of just rolling this thing. I would definitely recommend fully automating it. I didn't, because I was like, oh, surely I'll get it this time. And then I just kept, oh, well, no, it's going to be this roll that I'll get it. And so then I never spent any time automating it. Definitely recommend doing it. But now we have a draconium ore. We're going to have to do it again, though, because we are going to need to do the dragon one as well. Awesome, and we got 2 achievements out of that. So let's go. So now that we have our material or dimlet, we're going to want a couple more things. So we're going to want, let's see, flat. Want terrain flat. Let's see, and what was the other thing? Let's see, it should be one of these. Warren, there are dangling modifiers in this description. Let's see. Terrain. Yeah, so we're gonna need a couple things. Can receive liquid material modifiers. when fronted terrain. Oh, okay. So like that. So you do have to put it in a specific order. So then, cool. As you can see, it's going to cost quite a lot to maintain. So I'm going to see, do we have any efficiency? None. Let's see. I don't know what the dimlets would be called. Let's see. Because default dimlet, how biomes are used in this dimension. Blindness, confusion. Material default. Liquid default. Mining fatigue. I don't think it's any of these. I don't think we have any. Let's see. Rarity. I think they're rarity 5s if I had them. Yeah. Do we have any 6s? No. 4. Otherite, Bedrockium. Bedrockium one might actually be pretty good. Let's see. Fuel. Those are material. Those are mobs. Structures. Yeah, I'm not seeing one for what we want, so I don't know. I think we're going to hold off on opening this just because. So the maintenance cost is 500,000 RF a tick. I don't know if we have that, and I don't really want to get into a dimension if we don't have the energy to sustain it. So I think we are going to wait a little bit on opening this dimension just until we have the ability to maintain it so that we don't get stuck there. The creation shouldn't be terrible. I think we could scrounge 1,000,000 RF to open it. So we'll keep it as such because we can extract it and just keep it as this. So there's a couple more things we're gonna need. I'm gonna wait until we can get some efficiency and some other modules we need. I'm actually gonna look into what they're called. Oh, maybe this is what it is. One of the ones we just got. Let's see in here. It looks like create cost does add a little bit, but the maintenance cost goes down 5%. So we should be able to store that. All right. Yeah, so as you can see, that already took off 25,000 from the RF tick cost, which is pretty good. So hopefully we can get more. Let's see. What was that one called, actually? Oh, no. Okay, so it was just efficiency. So EFFI. Okay, so it looks like there's two. There's just a mediocre one, which is the one we have, or the 20% efficiency. So if we take this one out and then store it, it costs 500,000. So if we say took 20% off 500,000, that's going to give us a 400,000 uptick cost. I mean, it's not crazy like, oh my god, it's only going to cost us 10 RF a tick. But that's pretty significant. I mean, even the 5% is pretty significant because that's 25,000. Okay, so now that we have this, we're gonna need a couple more components. Why does this activation keep going on my hotbar? We're gonna need a couple more things from RF tools. So if we look at RF tools, I believe we're gonna need a, let's see, adjacent machine. I believe we're gonna need, I don't think it's a spawner. I think it's a dimension builder. Okay, so we're gonna want to do a dimension builder. This cannot be undone. Okay, yeah, so we'll want to do a dimension builder and then this block gets random. I think we also need a teleporter or a matter transceiver. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to look into this really quick because it's been a while since I've touched RF tools in this capacity. So I'm gonna figure out what blocks I need really quick and I'll be right back. Hopefully with an idea of what we're doing and hopefully we're not gonna get stuck somewhere. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. So I went ahead and figured out everything we need. So we need a dialing device, we needed a dimension builder, we needed a matter receiver, and then 2 matter transmitters. So I have one in my inventory here. And so basically how the setup works, so we have the builder. So this is where we put in our little tablet like so. Notice it completely ate all the power that was in here. That's completely fine. And notice it's going to be slowly building things as it goes. We don't technically have enough RF stored in the system for this to currently work. So we are going to have to upgrade our power situation, which means I think we're either going to go Draconic Evolution power, because that basically, from my understanding of what I've read into that, I've never done it, but from what I've read, is it's basically an exponential power source. So the more energy we put in, the more energy we can get out, and it kind of ends up just feeding itself, and we can get a crap ton of power out of it, which is good because we're going to need a crap ton of power for this endeavor that we want to do here. So as you can see, it's just going to keep kind of doing that. So we're just going to take that out so that way it doesn't drain our power. Because while I was looking at our power source, it looks like we're only generating about 27,000 RF a tick out of the little reactor, and then the big reactor we're only generating, I think, 100,000 RF, if I remember correctly. Yeah, about a little over 100,000 RF. I'll probably play around with some of the settings to see if we can get more energy out of this one, because I feel like we can. And so I'll experiment with that to see what I can do to try to get more out of it, even if it means burning through more of our fuel, which it looks like we've actually burned through all, and I need to reload the fuel source, but that's fine. And then lastly, the way this whole system basically functions is, so then we have a dialing device. Now notice we only have two to the transmitters. So we have the outbound, which is this one. It's the transmitter, so you're heading out. And then we have a receiver or in. So this is where inbound comes in. So when we teleport home, this is where we'll show up. And so then the third one is the matter transceiver. This is the one we're going to place in the dimension. So if we place it just about anywhere, I already have it dialed in. So notice it needs RF as well. And so the reason it's highlighting is because we dialed into it. So if I go here, say, okay, well, I want to switch from that one. I want to dial in there. So I want to switch. But notice this one and this one are both lit up. That means they're both dialed in to this guy. So if I go here, bam, we teleported to there. And same thing. Bam. Whoosh, we teleported. Look at that. And we also got an achievement out of it, so that's pretty cool. And so then we're dialed in, so when we teleport here, notice, not enough power. Well, now we can't teleport. So that isn't something we need to make sure that we have, is we need to make sure that we have power on us. Now, I think if we plug this in somewhere really quick, let's see, let's plug it in here. Okay, that's quite slow. Let's see, how much power do we need to actually teleport, though? That's 12,000. Okay, so we had 12,200. Oh, okay, so it hardly used any power. So as you can see, we could pre-charge this, but I am going to make sure we have a Tesseract on us at all times while we're in another dimension, just in case that I need to do an emergency, get the hell out of here, and for whatever reason, let's say this was out of power. And then that way we can at least get home, because I forget the consequences of being stuck there, but I'm pretty sure they're not good. Oh, let's drop off our levels while we're here. Store. And then, but yeah, so that's pretty much how RF Tools is going to operate for us. There might be some other things. If there's any other, let's see, where is it? If there's any other modifiers I should add before we go into this dimension, please let me know. I am going to try to get the better efficiency Dimlet, but that's just going to be the luck of the draw, I think. Unless we can happen to get one while we're waiting. I don't think we did. So I think that's the, yeah, it's the one with the X. I think it's a rarity 4, which is good for us because that means it's not a very high, or I guess low chance of getting it. And why does that keep switching? I don't know. But yeah, so I think that's where we're going to call it for today. With our little RF Tools endeavors. So next episode, we're going to focus on trying to get a better power source. Whether that's going to come in the form of us just upgrading our current reactors and trying to make them more optimized. I mean, I'm probably going to still look into how can I optimize them more. If you guys have any ideas for how we can optimize the reactors more, whether it's the little guy or the big reactor. Please let me know down below. Otherwise, maybe if I can get up top. Otherwise, definitely we're going to try to come up with a somewhat better power source. I think, like I said, I think we're going to do the Draconic Evolution reactor, because I think that is pretty much the next tier in power generation. If there is another mod that's in FTB Infinity Evolved that we have access to, by all means, leave that down below as well, or what your energy setups are. I would love to hear. I think that's what we're going to call it. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, you guys don't do smash the like button. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, as it really helps out the channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns for me, leave those down below. And like I said, if you guys have any suggestions on how we can get the 500,000 RF a tick we're going to need, please let me know, because that'd be greatly appreciated. And with all that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.